guess we'll start out with Charlotte.
Charlotte. Hey, I said everything I need to say. She is so technically superior to anything else that we've ever seen out of the Divas. So she has the pedigree to accompany that. She has the charisma. She's developing the charisma, I should say, and the personality to accompany her great gifts that she has in the ring. So she is going to be a specimen when she gets to the main roster. I'm voting Charlotte. I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say.
I mean, Jesus, man, I remember 2 matches from her. I can't remember one great Divas match on the main roster. Maybe she might be, I don't know. It's tough because I view NXT as like, it's a great show, but it's still the minor leagues. I mean, not sure as hell has nothing to do with quality, because if we were talking about quality, then WWE is like the D, not even the D league. That's the Z league. But, I don't know. Charlotte, she does have a case for Diva of the Year, definitely.
It's Charlotte. Enough said. Like, what do we need to say? It's very clear she's Ric Flair's daughter at this point. And the genetics were not lost while they were handed down like they were with Ted DiBiase.
Some people would even argue they gave her a little bit too much of Ric Flair, but hey, I'll take it.
They ain't lying.
If we can get the product that Charlotte produces in the damn ring because she is the daughter of Ric Flair, then damn it, I say go for it. And
Man,
this is one of those situations.
That type of joke.
This is one of those situations where it has to be in your DNA. I can't see any other way for Charlotte to have improved in the way that she has in WWE, because I watched that match with Natalya and Manny. You were talking about how it looked like she was a girl in that match, and Duke described it as her coming of age story, and that was a perfect way of describing it. But from the point where she won that NXT Women's Championship to the next match that she had at the NXT special, it was with Bayley. Like, I looked at Charlotte and how she was being coached by Natalya in her match, and I looked at that match with Bayley, how Charlotte had became a fucking commander. She was not being coached anymore. She was the coach, and she was in there, and she was effortless in the way that she moved, and it looked like she had been doing it for years, and you can't have any other explanation, but it comes natural to her. She's born better. So the gimmick, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a gimmick. It's the real damn deal. Like, that's who Charlotte is. She's Ric Flair's daughter, and she's becoming her own woman in WWE now. Let me go ahead and make sure I throw that on there.
Jesus, man, I'm about to drive down to Wall Street.
Next up, we have AJ Lee.
Look, hey, I don't want to say that she's not talented, because AJ Lee is very talented in the ring, but she's only as talented as her opponent. And if her opponent is not up to where she is, then she's not going to be able to move on and entertain us in the same way that a Charlotte would, where she can command the ring by herself. I mean, listen, AJ Lee is not the specimen that Charlotte is. I think that's what it comes down to. She can be entertaining in her own right. She is probably the best diva on the main roster, but I'm marking too hard for Charlotte right now. Charlotte is the best ever.
Jesus.
See, Manny, stop. See, this is the same thing that happened with Roman Reigns. I don't want it to happen with Charlotte yet. No.
It can't happen with Charlotte. She doesn't have any deficiencies to try to hide.
Will you stop acting like Natalya and Sasha Banks didn't do their fair share in those matches?
Both of them were Charlotte, Mark. That's the thing. But as far as AJ Lee is concerned, you want to talk about how she's only as good as her opponent. She had Paige, and that's
about it.
I believe AJ came into this year as the Divas champion. She went from a boring Divas championship reign to a lackluster feud with Paige to getting beat up by the Bella twins, and I can't see any way that she could possibly be in contention for Diva of the Year. I just threw her up there because I know it was going to be a damn riot if I didn't.
I mean, yeah, you have to have nominees. You can't just have one person. I mean,
AJ, well, Now that I think about it, maybe I should have nominated Sasha Banks since she's the wrestler
Yes.
everybody thinks AJ is.
Yeah,
I honestly agree with that. You
please
should
put
have.
her on there.
I'm not.
Please,
Are we gonna
that's
vote an
my
audible
vote
here?
for Diva of the Year.
I mean,
What?
Jesus. I'm not really sure if I can. Like, I don't think
That's
we can
my
call,
Diva of the Year.
I don't think we can go unanimous because I have somebody else in mind. But AJ, she's not a bad wrestler at all. I'm sorry, Justin, but I don't remember anything she's done this year. And at this point, she's kind of just one of the other divas for me. When I see her, I'm not really excited.
I'm also not in this unanimous because I am using my presidential voting rights to write in for Sasha Banks because this is some bullshit.
You know you
You
don't
have
have to be
rights?
the president to write in somebody, right?
No, but that's like what happens when you vote for the president. You can write in and shit. There's no write-ins on this thing. I looked.
You're a new guy.
You
You
said
have
this
rights.
was a democracy.
Wait a minute, I still don't have rights, and I've been here for like 3 years. When did you get rights?
I don't know the year, but it was the 13th Amendment.
Okay, so Paige, she's our next nominee.
She had a good start when she initially came up to the main roster, and we were starting to get to know her, and then shoo, WWE Creative happened, so I can't vote for her in all good conscience.
Like I said a little bit earlier, with Charlotte, I think she's amazing, but the NXT at the end of the day, although at this point I'm not sure if it's so official, it is officially the developmental territory of the WWE. I think that Paige's 2 championship wins overshadow Charlotte just by a smidge. I think I'm going to go with Paige. She, at the beginning of the year, I can't deny she had a really hot start. I mean, she did have a couple of stumbles in between, but I'm not sure if the creative team's ineptitude was, her fault. I'm not going to slight her for that.
But
AJ,
does it
I
matter
don't
if it's her
remember
fault or not if she's the person out there living through the stories?
She still had a really hot beginning. I just think that somebody on the main roster is naturally going to overshadow somebody on the developments. I think that, it's still real to me, damn it. I think that the Divas title,
Are you sure you want to move forward with that statement, sir?
Never mind.
Go
mind. Charlotte
Okay,
is the Diva
take my
of the
advice
year.
on this one, David. Stop. Don't do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Charlotte is the Diva of the year.
That's my thoughts on Paige.
See, the thing is, I'm not going to hold it against them, the fact that they're down in developmental when one company has a thriving Divas division and the other one doesn't. Because at the end of the day, I don't look at NXT as WWE's developmental territory. I look at NXT as its own wrestling promotion.
Well,
Because that's
you
the
gotta
way
look
it's
at it.
presented.
It's like the college, it's like the NCAA and the NBA, man. You got somebody in NCAA, he's crossing everybody up, hitting threes. He gets in the NBA, and he's facing a bunch of pros.
I'm not judging Charlotte by what she could do in WWE. I'm judging her by what she is doing down in NXT.
There's still a big difference between NXT and WWE. That's just
one of
my
them has a
opinion.
good Divas division, the other one doesn't. That's the difference. But we do have another Diva nominee here, Nikki Bella.
Yeah, she was pretty entertaining in this last quarter of the year, but if we're taking into account the whole totality of the whole year, she's been on the main roster, so there's really no excuse for her to have not lived up to what she's doing right now before. I mean, if she's exerting the same talent that she had now that she had before, but she's been good for the past few months. I can't give her Diva of the entire year, though.
I really cannot have identical twins, because they will
They're not
run
necessarily
the house.
identical.
Yeah, I still can't tell. Oh Jesus, but I at least I'm not concentrating on her breasts. I mean,
Man, maybe
least
you
you gotta
should
give
be
me
if you
that.
can't tell the difference.
For the last
What's that
time,
old,
Brie has the
Degrassi theme song,
bees.
whatever it takes.
whichever one that is, I don't even remember who fought Stephanie. I'm
Bree.
sorry.
Bree has the bees.
Bree
Bree
As in-
has the bees.
I'm so
Pluses.
confused. Oh my god. Whichever one that both. Oh my god. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say for this nominee. I don't know. I'm sorry. I legitimately cannot.
Once again, this was a great spot for Sasha Banks.
It was also a
Because
great spot for Nikki Bella
Nikki
because I
didn't
think she's
do
made
enough all
amazing
year.
improvements this year. She has. I say if we had a most improved, well, shit, that'd probably go to Charlotte too. Damn. Well, I'll say because we never knew about Charlotte, but there was like just a guess that, or not even a guess, a foregone conclusion that Nikki sucked, and I'm glad that she has showed that she doesn't. She's actually good, so I'll say she does warrant a spot here. So, final votes. Who are you going for, Diva of the Year?
Are you still asking Charlotte, man?
Because we actually did establish this before the show, Manny. You're just breaking the damn system. Okay.
Charlotte.
I'm gonna
Flair.
go with. I'm due for an obscure reference. I'm going with Charlotte the Harlot.
I'm gonna protest. So actually, I'll just go with Charlotte. She's probably the best out of those. But where's Sasha? Damn it.
Charlotte.